Hello everyone. So in the previous two presentation, we have discussed about the laws on electrical safety. That is, in the first session, we have discussed about the Electricity Act 2003. That is 18 parts and 185 sections with one schedule. And then we have discussed about the Indian Electricity Rule 1956, where 143 rules are there with reference to the Section 53 of Electricity Act 2003 and Section 37 of Act 1910. Now, in this session, we are going to discuss about the Electricity Rules 2005. So, most of the points we have discussed in the Electricity Rule 1956, and then some of the modifications, some of the changes in 2005 that is going to discuss in this presentation. So, this Electricity Rule 2005 is published in Part 2, Section 3 of Subsection 1 of the Gazette of India Extraordinary by the Government of India, Ministry of Power, New Delhi on 8th June 2005. So with reference to this notification GSR 379E, in exercise of the power conferred by the Section 176 of the Electricity Act 2003, the central government hereby makes the following rules, namely. So with reference to the Electricity Act 2003, these rules are prepared. So in rule number 1, that is short title and commencement. So this is regular practice again. These rules shall be called the Electricity Rules 2005. So this is applicable to whole of India, and these rules shall come into the force on the date of their publication in the official gazette. Then rule number 2 is related to the different definitions under these rules. Like Act means the Electricity Act 2003, the words and expressions used are not defined herein but defined in the Act shall have the meaning assigned to them in this Act. So various definitions can be covered under this rule number 2 definitions. Then rule number 3 is related to the requirements of captive generating plant. So we have already discussed in the Electricity Act 2003. Now it is under rule. So under rule number 3, sub rule 1 says that no power plant shall qualify as captive generating plant under section 9, read with clause 8 of section 2 of the Act unless, so these are the conditions. So under rule number 3, sub rule 1, point A, in case of power plant, not less than 26% of the ownership is held by the captive users. So we can't say that this is a captive generating plant unless the 26% plus ownership is held by the captive users only. Then second condition is not less than 51% of the aggregate electricity generated in such plant determined on annual basis is consumed for the captive use only. So this captive generating plant must have these conditions that ownership of these captive users is more than 26% and then this captive use is more than 51%. Provided that in case of power plant set up by the registered cooperative society, the conditions mentioned under paragraph 1 and 2 above shall be satisfied collectively by the members of the cooperative society. If suppose this criteria is not satisfied, that is more than 51% aggregate electricity generated is consumed by the captive use, then there is a condition or flexibility in the condition that it should be registered as a cooperative society. So if this point 1 and point 2 is satisfied, then also we can call it as captive generating plant. Provided further that in case of association of persons, the captive user shall hold not less than 26%. So that is the must criteria. Even though there is a flexibility in the 51% captive use, if there is a cooperative society, then also there is a compulsory condition, mandatory condition that the 26% plus ownership should be with the captive users only. Then the subpoint B is there. In case of generation station owned by a company formed as a special purpose vehicle for such generation station, a unit or units of such generation station identifier for captive use and not the entire generation station satisfies the conditions in paragraph 1 and 2. So what are that conditions? The electricity required to be consumed by captive users shall be determined with reference to such generating unit or units in aggregate identified for the captive use and not with reference to the generation station as a whole. Second condition, the equity shares to be held by the captive users in generation station shall not be less than 26%. So this is the essential condition in both of the points under rule number 3. Then second point is there, it should be obligation of the captive users to ensure that the consumptions of the captive users at the percentage mentioned in clause A and B, that is nothing but the 51% of the power should be used by the captive users only. So again there is a compliance that for the purpose of this rule, annual basis shall be determined based on a financial year. Then captive user shall mean the end user of the electricity generated in a captive generating plant, and the term captive use shall be constructed accordingly. So there should be clear cut and a clear definition for this captive user and for the annual basis, that is nothing but the financial year. Then we know about the definitions like ownership or special purpose vehicle. So ownership is specially related to the generating station or the power plant set up by the company. So the person who is having the ultimate control on that generating station or power plant is a owner, and that criteria is called as ownership. Then special purpose vehicle shall mean a legal entity owning, operating and maintaining a generation station and with no other business or activity to be engaged by the legal entity. So the focus or the relation is to generate the power, and if it is connected to the generation of power only and no other business, then only it is called as special purpose vehicle. So the special purpose is nothing but to generate the powers. Then rule number 4 is related to the distribution systems. So the distribution system of a distribution licensee of the section 19 of this act shall also include electric line, substation, then electrical plant that are primarily maintained for the purpose of distributing electricity in the area of the supply of such distribution licensee, notwithstanding that such lines, substation, electrical plant are high pressure cables or overhead lines or associated with the such high pressure cables or overhead lines are used incidentally for the purpose of transmitting electricity for others. So this is related to the distribution of power supply, distribution of electrical energy. So whatever the cables associated in these distribution systems, for that cables, for the material, for the strength, the guidelines are given. Then rule number 5 is related to the compliance with the directions by transmission lines. So we have already discussed these things in the Electricity Act 2003, that is National Load Dispatch Center or Regional Load Dispatch Center or State Load Dispatch Center may be there for dispatching, for transmitting these electricity to a particular location. So with reference to section 26(3) or section 28(1) or 29(2) or 32(1) or 33(b) or section 40 of this act give such directions. So all these details are already discussed about this transmission licensing for these dispatch centers. So all these things, guidelines, whichever is given by the approval committees, that should be followed and that should be complied. So the appropriate commission on application filed by the National Load Dispatch Center or the Regional Load Dispatch Center or the State Load Dispatch Center, etc. So after hearing the transmission licensing, if the appropriate commission is satisfied with all the conditions, then they can accept the conditions and they can approve the license. In case if they are not satisfied the conditions, then they can suspend it too. So approval of this license, they are going to guide the persons and these companies how to go for the transmission. Then rule number 6 is related to the surcharge under section 38. So the surcharge on transmission charges under section 38, the manner of progressive reduction of such surcharge and the manner of payment and utilization of such surcharge to be specified by the Central Commission Authority only. So we have already discussed about who is Central Commission Authority, what are the constitution, that is chairperson, members, their eligibility, their criteria, their experiences, their duties, functions, power, etc. So this Central Commission is going to decide about this surcharge with reference to section 38. Then on the similar line, appropriate commission of the state also can decide about these things. Rule number 7 is related to the Consumer Redressal Forum and Ombudsman. So the distribution license shall establish a forum for redressal of the grievances. So whatever the complaints, difficulties, issues which is raised by the consumer, that should be resolved. So all these grievances can be resolved by forming a forum, and this consumer redressal forum should be there. And then an ombudsman to be appointed or designated by the state commission under subsection 6 of section 42 of the act. So ombudsman means a person who is having authority and power to resolve all these grievances or the complaints which is raised by the electrical consumers. So ombudsman is the higher authority as far as this consumer redressal forum is concerned. Then these are the different conditions related to the ombudsman. Ombudsman shall prepare a report on a 6-monthly basis, giving details about the nature of the grievances of the consumers dealt by the ombudsman, the response of the license in the redressal of the grievances, and all the details should be submitted to the commission. So that may be a state commission, that may be a central commission, depending on the conditions. So whatever the grievances, whatever the complaints, whatever the issues raised by the consumers, which is mentioned in writing, then it is resolved by the ombudsman or handled by the ombudsman. All these reports should be submitted by the ombudsman. The report under this rule forwarded to the state commission and state government within 45 days after the end of relevant period of 6 months. Then rule number 8 is related to the tariffs of generating companies under section 79. So the tariff which is going to determined by the Central Commission for generating companies under clause A and B of subsection 1 of section 79 of the Act shall not be subject to the redetermination of the State Commission. So the Central Commission is going to decide about the tariff rates for the distribution, for the transmission, for the consumers, etc. So all these things are decided by the Central Commissions only. Then rule number 9 is related to the interstate trading license. A license issued by the Central Commission under section 14 read with the clause E of subsection 1 of section 79 of the Act, that is for the trader for interstate operations. So if the operations are carried out, that may be a generation, that may be a trading, that may be a transmission or distribution. So if the operations are interstate and if it is related to the electricity trading, then the license should be there, and that license holder is called as electricity trader. So that electricity can be sold by that trader into the different states. So all these things are again observed by the state government as well as by the central government. Then rule number 10 is related to the appeal to the appellate tribunal. So we have already discussed in the Electricity Act 2003 with reference to section 111 and subsection 2 that if the license holder or the consumer or other persons can appeal against the order passed by the adjudicating officers or the appropriate commissions. So we can go for the appeal with reference to this rule number 10. And there is a special court, jurisdiction of the court is related to the rule number 11. So we have already discussed in the Electricity Act 2003 again that there should be special courts which are going to handle the cases or the appeals or the issues which is related to the generation of electricity, transmission of electricity, distribution of electricity, or some tariff issues or license issues, suspension of license or cancellation of license and their reasons, etc. Then rule number 12 is related to the cognizance of the offense. So again it is related to the act only. So the police shall take cognizance of the offense punishable under this act on a complaint in writing made to the police by the appropriate government or appropriate commission or any of their officer authorized by them in this regard, or a chief electrical inspector or an electrical inspector or an authorized officer of licensing or a generating company as the case may be. The police shall investigate the complaint in accordance with the general law applicable to the investigation of any complaint. For the purpose of the investigation of the complaint, the police shall have all the powers as available under the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. So this is related to the cognizance of offense. So police can handle this offense under the criminal procedures. Then police can investigate, can forward the report related to that complaint. Then they can continue with the sub-clauses 1, 2, 3 and complaint for taking cognizance of an offense punishable under this act. So appropriate decision will be given by the appropriate government, appropriate commissions or some other officers which are directly or indirectly involved in this cognizance of offense case. Then rule number 13 is related to the issue of orders and practice directions. So central government may from time to time issue orders and practice directions in regard to the implementation of these rules and matters incidental or ancillary thereto as the central government may consider appropriate. So we can understand that time to time there are some changes, and that is why some directions are also going to change in future also. So we are discussing about the electricity rule 2005, then there is an amendment in 2007, and now there are different amendment in this electricity act, as well as in the future also there may be some other directions may be given by the central government through the different amendments. So these are the different 13 rules which is covered under this electricity rule 2005. Thank you.